Welcome to day 5 of our 7-day Pilates challenge with liable of Zest. I hope you have all been enjoying it up to this point. I'm so excited because today we are going to be trying some new movements. So let's get straight into it. Let's start standing in the center of our mats. We're going to be starting with a roll down. So we're going to inhale, and on that exhale, tucking that chin and then that neck and chest all the way down towards the floor. Just rolling, articulating through that spine. Bend those knees if you have to. Allow that spine to stretch out, reaching forward. And deep breath in before we roll ourselves back up into a standing position. Stacking that vertebra. I want you to feel where you tight. And inhale. And exhale, tucking in that chin, rolling that neck and chest all the way down towards the floor. And we're going to hold. Let your body hang towards the floor. And inhale, exhale up. All the way, controlling yourself through that spine. Opening that chest. Last one. Deep breath in and exhale all the way down, working on that control of that body. We're going to walk our hands to the center of that mat and pushing our head through our arms, allowing those shoulders to stretch out and leaning forward, lifting right leg up, extending it towards the ceiling. And tucking that knee in. We're just going to do 4 of these. That's 1. Core tight, and 2. And 3. And 4. And dropping that right leg down. Lifting that left leg. Inhale. Exhale, knee tuck. That's 1. And extend. Allow that body to stretch and activate as you're working. 2. 3 and 4. Dropping that foot down, and we're just going to walk those heels out, pushing those heels into the ground, allowing that calf to stretch. And now we're walking our feet a little bit closer towards our hands and rotating that tailbone out, walking our hands a little bit more to the center of the mat, rotating that tailbone out towards the ceiling above you, allowing that little burning sensation to go down the back of your legs, and slowly walking your hands into an extended front plank position, front support. We're going to hold, activating that tummy, core tight, drawing those shoulders down the back, deep breaths. Keep holding, sucking in, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping right knee in, left knee in, and leaning into rest position. Pushing those shoulders into the ground. We're going to walk our hands towards the left hand side, allowing that right rib to open. And walking our hands towards the other side, allowing that left rib to open, and slowly back to center. We're going to get into all fours, and I want you to bring that right foot next to that right hand. We're going to open ourselves up into a lunge position, but our knee is on the floor, and we're going to lean forward, and we're going to open our left arm and chest, following that arm, allowing that trunk to stretch out. And we're going to alternate sides and back. We're going to do 3 on each side, so let's keep working. And last one, allow that trunk, keep those hips facing forward, but open that chest and those shoulders to follow that hand towards the back. And back to center, and we're going to lean forward, and as we lean forward, we're opening our chest up towards the ceiling, And inhale, stacking vertebra, bringing arms in front of you. And we're going to do 3 of these, reaching forward on that exhale and up and back, opening those hips. And last one, reaching forward and opening, and slowly back, bringing our hands back to the floor and bringing that left foot out in front of you, stacking that vertebra, core nice and tight, arms in front of you. And I want you just to have a slight little forward movement of those hips, just to get a lateral stretch into that hip flexor. And we're going to inhale, exhale, open that chest, and back to center. And exhale, open that chest, inhale, center. Keep going, allow that body to get that mobility and flexibility that it needs so that we can get those beautiful activations. 1 more on each side. And last one. And back to center, keeping arms in front of you, leaning forward, opening that chest, looking in front of you, allowing that neck to stretch and those hip flexors. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. And last one, reaching forward and up. And slowly back to center, bringing hands back to the floor into an all-fours position. We're going to lift our right arm and left leg off the ground, and we're going to hold for 10. Remember to suck in belly to spine and keep those shoulders and hips parallel. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we just toe tapping and lifting, and we're imagining there's a little picket fence in line with our hands, and we're lifting and lowering on either side of that picket fence. We're doing 8 of these. That's 4. Shoulder down at back, neck in neutral. And 5, 6, 2 more, pointing that toe as you lift. 7 and 8. And dropping arm and limb down to lift, alternate arm and limb, and holding, sucking belly to spine, and holding for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and toe tap on either side of that picket fence. Using that glute max to do the work. That's 2. Work hard. I want you to feel the activations in your scaps, in your core, in your arms. And we've got 3 more to do. Keep going. And 1, 2, and 3. And dropping those limbs down. And slowly leaning into rest position. And inhale and exhale. And slowly opening that chest, pushing that pelvis onto the ground to stretch out those abdominals. And last one, back into that rest position. And turning over onto our backs. Into a seated position, we're going to just roll ourselves down into a supine position. Let's start with our pelvic curls just to warm ourselves up, get that spine articulating nicely. Feet and knees are a fist width apart, and your feet are 1.5 feet away from those glutes. Bringing arms up towards the ceiling, we're going to get that neutral and horizontal plane of that pelvis. We're going to inhale, and on that exhale, tucking in that pelvis and lifting it up towards the ceiling, keeping those hips in the air, bringing arms overhead, lifting arms back up, and exhaling, rolling ourselves back down. And inhale, exhale, roll up. Focus on articulating through that spine, lifting one vertebra at a time as you lift those hips. And inhale, lower those arms overhead and slowly back up. Exhale, roll those hips back to the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift those hips back up. And inhale, arms overhead, lifting back up. We're going to do one more of these. Keep working. I want you to feel that glute activation as you're going. And rolling yourself back up. On that exhale, squeezing, digging those heels into the ground, knees together. Inhale, arms to floor, back up, keeping arms where they are. We're going to transfer our weight onto that left leg, lifting right leg into tabletop. If you're feeling strong, you can extend and hold your knee there. Otherwise, you can keep it in that 90 degree. While we're static holding in those legs, we're going to inhale, exhale, lower those arms down towards the floor to a T position and back up. And that's one. We're doing 6 of these. You should really feel that left hamstring and glute. That's 3 and 4. Work hard, keep that posture, core tight. 5 and 6, arms up, dropping that right leg down, lifting that left leg and holding to inhale, exhale, arms to T-point and back to center. That's 1. Work hard, feel that activation. 2 and 3 and 4. 2 more. 5 and 6. Dropping that leg down, lifting those hips to articulate back down towards the floor, keeping those arms where they are, getting that core activated, sucking belly to spine. We're bringing right and left legs up into tabletop, 90 degrees in those knees and those hips. We're going to lower right arm and left leg and back up. And if you're feeling like a little bit more of a challenge, you can extend that leg down and back up. And that's 1. And inhale up. That's 2. We're doing 6 on each leg. 3 and 4. Sucking belly to spine. 5 and 6. You should feel a beautiful burn into that tummy. Inhale, exhale, opposite limbs and lower and extend. That's 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Last little push before we do double leg toe tap as we lower our arms. And if you want to, you can extend those knees slightly, lowering those arms and back up. Or you can just do a little toe tap, keeping that knee angle nice and small. That's 3. Just make sure the important thing here is to make sure that that pelvis is not tilting. You're keeping that neutral spine. Let's do 3 more. That's 1. And exhale down, inhale up. 2 and 3. And slowly hugging those knees towards your chest. We're going to extend our legs back onto the floor, pointing those toes towards the wall in front of us, arms overhead. We're inhaling, and on that exhale, lifting arms up towards the ceiling and rolling head, neck and chest off the floor into a seated position, stacking that vertebra and rolling yourself forward, allowing that body to stretch out. Allow that chest to fall forward and reach, and stacking up. Bringing those ankles shoulder width apart, bringing those arms into a T position. We're going to inhale And exhale, rotate that body towards the left hand side and reaching out towards that foot and back up, back to T-point and rotate and reach. Going as far as you can, bringing that hand, that opposite hand to the outer part of your opposite foot and reaching as far as you can go. And one more on each side after this one, reaching, 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 back up, keeping those ankles flexed and going forward, back up, back to T, rotating and reaching, back up. We're going to get our hands behind us, bending our knees, a foot and a half away from those glutes. We're slowly going to inhale, and on that exhale, lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. Please make sure that you're not bracing and you are sucking that belly towards your spine, knees together. We're going to slowly lower those hips down and back up. If you struggle with wrist pain or shoulder pain, you can rest your elbows on a chair, or you can do the same movement, just a normal pelvic curl with your back on the floor. Let's do 3 more. And lift and hold, and we're going to lift that right leg into tabletop. Work really hard and toe tap. That's 1 and 2. Work hard to keep that hip alignment. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Right leg down, lifting that left leg. Inhale, exhale, toe tap. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Last one, we're going to lift ourselves up, and we're slowly just pulling our knees away from each other, then back to center. Try not to strain that neck. Keep it in neutral. If you are feeling like your neck is straining, just drop yourself back down, have a little bit of a rest, and get back into it. And last 2. And slowly dropping those hips down and walking your arms around your shins, lifting those scaps and just looking towards your right hand side, then towards your left hand side, allowing that neck to stretch out. And we're going to bring ourselves to lying down on our elbows behind us, sucking in that belly. We're going to start with our legs in tabletop, keeping neck nice and straight and core nice and tight. We're going to toe tap into lower, straight leg lower. That's 1. And toe tap into straight leg lower. That's 2. Toe tap into straight leg lower. Keep working. And let's do 1 more on each one before we do double leg toe tap into straight leg lower. Work hard, feel those tummy muscles, and double leg toe tap into straight leg lower. You don't have to go too low if you feel like we're losing control, just to there. And toe tap. Work really hard in activating to control, because we're increasing that lever, which means you got to work really hard to keep that core nice and activated so that you can keep that lower back and pelvis in control. From here, we're going to go into the double leg stretch. Let's do 1 more. And dropping those feet towards the floor and slowly walking, bringing our head back to the floor. We're going to lift those legs up into tabletop position, slowly lifting head, neck and chest off the ground. We're going to start with just a few arm circles just to warm up. We're going to do 3 of these, and then we're going to extend those legs as we rotate. Let's inhale and exhale, leg extension, and rotate those arms. That's 1 and 2. Keeping those toes pointed. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and hugging those knees towards your chest. Well done, everyone. Let's get into our new movement. Let's get ourselves seated into the center of the mat. This new movement is called the crab. It's a very interesting movement, but we are going to talk through it. We're going to work slowly through it. So let's get started. I'd prefer you to watch the movement before you try. We're going to place our left leg over our right foot, and we're going to grab our hands, our feet with our hands. I want right hand grabbing left foot and left hand grabbing right foot. And we are slowly going to do a rolling like the ball motion into a rollover. So let's stack that vertebra. We're going to inhale, and on that exhale, roll ourselves down and slowly extend both legs overhead. Inhale and exhale, roll yourself over and bring that head over towards the floor. Slowly rolling yourself back into starting point. All right, let's try again. So let's inhale and exhale, roll yourself over, extend those legs. Now if you can, we're going to rotate those legs around and slowly roll ourselves back up and bringing head to floor and slowly back. And let's do 2 more. So we're rotating our feet around when we are in that extended rollover position. Let's take a deep breath in and slowly roll yourself down, extending your legs and rotating around and tucking in and rolling yourself back over. Last one. Well done, everyone. This is a new exercise, very different to normal, but it's a lot of fun. Let's inhale and exhale, roll yourself over, extending those legs, rotating and coming in to a seated position and rolling to tap your head on the floor and slowly back into that seated position. Let's hug those knees towards the chest and extend that back. We're going to turn over onto our right hand sides. We're going to place elbow comfortably under our shoulders, knees, hips and shoulders all aligned, and we are slowly going to just make sure that we have that good posture between the floor and our bodies. We're going to extend that leg in front of us, making sure our hips are nice and stacked, and lift that leg up towards the ceiling, core nice and tight, and we toe tapping and lifting for 6 counts. That's 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. We're doing 6 circles forward and 1. Work hard. I want you to feel that glute activation. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and slowly back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Lifting up into a side plank hold position, placing this hand behind your head, your left hand. Inhale and hip drop. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. We're turning over to do that same sequence. Keep working. You should be feeling it in your glutes and in the side of your tummy. Let's get that posture, knees, hips and shoulders all aligned, shoulders stacked, and lifting that leg up towards the ceiling and toe tap, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 into circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and circles back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and slowly lifting those hips off the floor, arm behind head and hip drop. That's 1. Core tight. 2, keeping that knee where it is. 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming down and turning over onto your back. We're going to place our left knee over our right knee and hugging those ankles towards your body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and changing over, hugging knees towards each other and ankles towards the body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lifting those legs back to the floor. I want you to extend that right leg onto the floor, lifting left leg into tabletop and placing that knee across midline, leaning onto the floor, bringing your left hand into T-point and allow that knee to drop just to stretch out that lower back. And slowly changing over and dropping that knee across, looking in the opposite direction and holding. And slowly coming back to center, extending those legs to slowly roll yourself back up into a seated position. Well done, and thank you for completing that session with me. We tried a new and exciting movement today. Because it's new, you can't expect to do it correctly the first time, so if you did struggle, it is all right. Just keep practicing and we will get there. See you tomorrow for day 6 of our 7-day Pilates challenge. See you soon.